Hey everyone, it's Ashley here for Not Too Shabby, and I'm here today to share with you my design team project for this week. I will put all the links below for the products that I share in the description box, and if you do head over to Not Too Shabby to make a purchase, you can use my coupon code CraftyGirl to save 10% off. So I made this really cute shaker birthday card for my husband's birthday, and I think it turned out so incredibly cute. I made it like a scene of us, so it's me, my husband, and our dogs, Diego and Daisy, and I think it just looks so adorable. I used some birch trees to make kind of a dimensional background. So this is the stamp set that I used for this project. It's called Bicycle Built for You, and I used that bike, the two little people, and I used the dog, and I did two of them. And then I used the sentiment, wishing you a beautiful birthday, and there were super cute little balloons there. I also used this Banner-tastic set, and I am so in love with this set. I used those solid images there so that I could stamp out that flag using the fresh lavender lawn fawn ink, and it just worked so neat. You'll see in the process video, but I'm totally obsessed with this banner set now. It's so cool to not have to color it with your Copics, and you can just color it in with the ink. I also used this die. This is from MFT, and it's the solid birch trees. There's some trees there in the front and also in the back. It gives it so much nice dimension, and I really think that that made the card. I also used this lawn fawn stitched hillside border so that the bicycle had like a little foreground to be riding on. And then this is a die from my stash. It's the Gina Marie scalloped die, and I just used that for the frame there. I also used this MFT paper, and I used it for the purpley background and also the green at the front there, and that's the watercolor wishes. So I'm going to get started with the process video. To start out, I am just stamping out my images. I'm using the Lawn Fawn jet black ink there. So I'm going to stamp out one of those cute bicycles, the little boy, the little girl, and two puppies. And then I'm going to stamp out those balloons and one of the banners from this Banner-tastic set, and I'm trying to see by taking the other stamp set how the images would fit on there. So I'm using this banner here, and then I'm taking the fresh lavender ink, and I'm taking those solid images, and you can use those to actually color up the background of the banner. So I'm stamping it twice so that it will really get colored in, and with the Lawn Fawn inks, you do need to wait for them to kind of like seep into the paper, and if you wait, it will darken up and kind of make a more solid of an image. So I stamped the middle one twice, and I'm going back to stamp the first image again, and then I'm going to do this one twice, and it's just so vibrant and amazing. And then I'm just going to stamp out the sentiment on it, and I stamped the sentiment, wishing you a beautiful birthday. And then I decided I wanted two little flowers so I could put a flower in her hair. So I'm starting out doing her skin, so I'm using E13, E11, and E00. Then I'm going to do the boy's skin, so I'm using E11 and E00. I used R20 to put some pink cheeks, RV14 to begin her dress, RV11 because I just went out of the lines a little bit, and then I used RV13 to blend out the dress, and RV11. Then I'm using BV02, BV00, and BV1 for the little flowers, and then I go in with V04. For the jeans, I'm using B28 and B24, and YG03 for the top, YG06, YG03 again, and blending it out with YG00. And then I just went back with B24 to blend out the little pants, so I used C8 and C4 for the shoes. I'm using E53 just to blend out all of the hair, and I'm just going to blend the hair. I'm not going to use the flicking motion for this project, so I'm just using E59 then, and blending that out with E57, E55, and then I go back in with E53 just to blend that all out. And it's a much easier way to do the hair if you prefer not to do the flicking motion that I usually do when I do my hair. So then I'm using E59 for the girl's hair and blending that out with E57, and then E55, And then I blend that out with E53. Then for the basket, I used E55 and E53. I'm using a new color combo that I got, which is N4. It's like a neutral gray. I'm so excited. I got it at Michael's with a coupon. That's where I get most of my Copics from. And then I'm going in with N0, which is the other new color that I got. And it's quite similar to the C's, like the C, the cool grays, but I do really like it. So now I'm using YG06, 3, and 00. And then I'm using B28 and B24. And just blending that all out. And then for the other balloons, I use purple. I use B02, B01, and B00. And then for the bike, I use G02. And G00. And I really like that color. It's kind of like a turquoise greeny color. It's very pretty. And then for the wheels, I went back in with C08 and C04 just to darken up the wheels so they're a little bit more black. And then I went back in with N4. And then for the dog, I'm using C8. And I gave him some little eyebrows with E55. And then I'm blending it out with C4. My dog Diego is a black color, but I got a really nice black tone with these gray colors. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks just like him. Then for the little girl puppy, I'm using C8. I'm blending it out with C4. And it's so fun to do a card for a friend or a family member where you can actually personalize the images on it, like coloring it up like their dog, or if you have a family member, you can do their hair color, that kind of thing. And I just find that it's so personalized when you give that as a gift. It's really, really nice. So my husband already got this card. I had filmed this earlier and I'm just voicing it over, and his birthday was on Saturday and I gave him the card and he loved it so much and he was so excited that it had like a little image of me and him and our puppies. So it's a really sweet way to give a nice personalized card. So I'm just using my sewing scissors to fussy cut out these images. There is coordinating dies that come with these, or excuse me, that you can purchase separately with these. So I will link these below, and you can definitely cut them out using your sewing scissors, but they were a little bit trickier to cut out, the bicycle especially, so that one would be a good one to have a die for. The little girl wasn't too bad to fussy cut, so I'm just fussy cutting her out, and the little boy. And it's so cute how they pop on there together. It's absolutely adorable. And then I'm just trimming out the little balloon, and then it can kind of just go at the back there. And then I'm just adding the little puppies to the basket at the front. And this set comes with so many cute things you can put in the basket. There's little wedding scenes that you can make this into. There's a little veil, and there's those little like cans that go on the back of a car for a wedding, which is really cute. So you can make it into a wedding card as well. So I'm just taking that scalloped frame die and cutting it out on that watercolor paper there. And I'm going to be using another one of those watercolor papers in green and cutting it out with the same die there. Now I'm taking the hillside border and I'm just using that to cut out the ground. And it's going to be horizontally like that. Then I'm just doing another one using the white because I want to have a white frame on it. And that's how it will look on the card. Then I'm going to take that scrap piece of white paper and cut out some of those birch trees. I love this die. I've used it for quite a few scene cards, and it's so cute because you can make the trees any different season. So you could cut out orange and red leaves and make it fall, or you could do it, put snowflakes on the tree or glitter on the tree to make it look like snow. You could put green leaves for spring or summer. So I just love this die so much. I highly recommend this one. I've used it quite a bit. So I'm just cutting out 4 little trees, and they're nice and tall, so you can snip them apart later and add them for dimension in the background. And I just cut out a few little leaves using that watercolor paper that I had left. And there was 2 different sizes there, so I got a few big and a few little ones. Then I'm going to trim out the background foam piece so that I can make the shaker, and I'm using adhesive foam that I purchased at my Walmart. So I'm just taking the card base and I'm going to use my adhesive ATG gun tape to glue that on, and then I'm just taking off the adhesive part of that foam piece, and the foam piece is going to allow this to be a shaker card, so it gives it some nice dimensions so we can put some sequins into the background portion. And I just pulled that up and decided that it would be easier if I just trimmed it out on the full size and then laid the frame on top so I don't have to worry about matching it up, and that worked a lot better. I definitely should have done that in the first place. So now I'm putting down that little foam. And then I have another piece of foam, and I'm going to put that piece on top. And that one I am just lining up with the little scalloped edges. So now I have the dimensional part, and I'm just showing how the frame will go on top. So I need to put in my grassy background, and that one fits in really nicely there. And then I'm going to take my little trees and kind of tuck them into the background. So I'm able to use these and snip them apart and use the different pieces to make the background. And I just love this because I could put some on the background and some on the front of the card, so it really looks dimensional, like they're riding through a forest. So I'm just using my glue stick for the rest of them. It was easier than adding on the adhesive tape. And just tucking them in there. And you could definitely cut those out in brown or whatever color you'd like. I just cut them out on white so they could be kind of like birch trees. And then I'm taking some of the little leaves and gluing those on. And I think it looks so cute with those little leaves. It makes me very excited for spring to come. And now that those are on, I can put some of my sequins in. Actually, first I'm going to put down this acetate sheet, and this is just plastic wrap that I get from the dollar store. You can buy this plastic wrap to wrap up gift baskets or flowers or that kind of thing. So I just buy one of those rolls, and I've actually only ever had one. It lasts forever. There's so much on them. So I'm just adding that on as the front acetate to keep the sequins in. And I'm just trimming off the outside part that went over the edge. Now I'm going to add in my sequins, and I have this really pretty mix that I made with blue and purpley color sequins, and I'm just adding a little bit more adhesive so that none of them will go underneath that little hill there. And then I'm taking some of these little confetti pieces in blue and purple and a little bit of the stars I thought were really cute. I'm adding some adhesive around the outside, and then I'm going to put that part on top, and it's so shaky. I love it. This is my favorite part. And then I'm just trimming off that edge because the foam went over the side a tiny bit. And it went over the top a tiny bit too, it shows, but I left that part because I didn't want to damage the card base. Now, I really wanted to put that sentiment on the front, but it just didn't fit with everything else that was going on, so I do end up putting that inside later. But for now, I'm just adding on the bicycle. I'm going to put the little puppies there in the front. And I'm going to add on the little boy and little girl. And they're so cute. I love this so much. And then I added on the little balloons and a little flower for her hair. And then I decided that it looks like they are riding in midair, so I cut out another one of those hillside borders, and it works perfectly because the one that I had originally cut in the background is a little bit taller, so it looks perfect because it looks like hilly in the background. And then I'm adding on some of those birch trees in the front so that you get some more dimension. And I'm just going to tuck it in there behind the balloons and trim off. It looks so cute like that. And then I decided to put the banner inside. It's perfect for when you open it up. I don't usually decorate the inside of my cards, so that was nice. My husband was surprised when he saw that part inside. Then I'm just adding on a few more little leaves. And I am taking my white jelly pen to add little dots on the cheeks. some Spectrum Noir glitter pen to add a ton of sparkle to the front of the card. And then I have my clear glitter gel pen, and Jamie does now have these in the shop. It makes a really pretty kind of like light grayish color. The one that I have does anyways, so I added that on to make the silver parts of the bicycle shiny and glittery. And now I'm just going to take that sentiment and put it onto that hillside. I've removed it from the card, and I decided I wanted to have the sentiment on there instead. So I wrote, "Wishing you a beautiful birthday" on that part. And then I'm just going to tuck it underneath the bicycle. There we go, and that is my card. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't, please subscribe. I will put the links below, and don't forget if you head over to the shop to use my coupon code. See you guys in the next video. Bye now.